the host of the Runway podcast. Welcome back to another episode. I have got in studio another formidable guest. And as usual, we're here to unpack and talk about all the things that you need to get on a runway. And today, our guest is none other than Sol Phenduka. He is a radio broadcaster. He is a DJ. He is a TV presenter, brand ambassador. My goodness, if it's his CV is anything to go by, you'd really say he's an it girl. Just that he's a guy.
I'm a brand ambassador. Hey, which brand now? I'm an ambassador of.
You've been dripping and doing other stuff.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough, right?
Fair enough.
So I always like to, when I start the show, I give a background about like how I met the guest, how I know the guest. And so with you specifically, the first time we met was last year, actually around this time. I invited you to Alex FM. We had an interview.
Yes.
It was amazing. And then from there, I tried to basically ship you a t-shirt to say, Sol, can you please wear my t-shirt? Guys, Sol did not wear the t-shirt till today. But at least I've got his address, so sometime one of these days Zumlanda in Kokotele. And then
she's not even wearing her own t-shirt, so and I told her, I said I didn't like the design. Eventually I said I don't like the design. Send something, that I can wear and that I would wear normally. Not I'm wearing it because it's my friend's shirt.
Yeah.
But it needs to also represent me as well.
Yeah.
But
true.
I mean it was cute. Right? But you're not wearing it, I'm disappointed.
No,
all the girls I say for she
the brand is representing. That's all that matters, right? And then so I came to Podcast and Chill and I didn't hound you. Can I just correct this thing? Because you said on Podcast and Chill that I hounded you. I wanted to be guest ghost lady. It wasn't. It was natural. I was like, she's going on leave. Here's a girl who's a broadcaster. Let me step in. And eventually you said yes. I got onto the podcast. Eventually.
Between you asking initially and eventually, you asked several times.
No, but twice.
And you have to be persistent. You're a businesswoman. You're a business person. So I admire the persistence.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'll take that.
Maybe colloquially, I'll just say, she hounded me, but not in a bad way. You were just persistent.
I was persistent.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah. And then the same day after shooting the first podcast, I was like, hey, Sol's going to Fosloras. This is my chance. Nyangena man. So,
I remember,
and I drove you to...
I was going to the kid,
Yeah, to your daughter. That was
really nice. So how's your car?
Yeah, so I'm getting there to say, I was so, not excited, but I was happy, like just the thrill of like, oh my gosh, I just recorded Podcast and Chill. Right after I dropped her off, Nagu, I jumped onto this huge pavement. Yo, guys, I had a moment. But I was like, okay, it's fine. But basically, so hopefully, you've got a car now. Maybe
no, I don't have a car. You'll drive me again. This time around, I'm going to Pretoria. Please drive me.
Drive you to Pretoria.
She's my Uber. She's my personal. If you need an Uber, call Business Runway. Say you want to speak to Cleaner, my Tonsela. And then there's a dancer from here to wherever you're going.
Yeah. Right. So I mean, Sol, you're doing amazing, obviously.
Wow.
Which gig pays you the most?
Which gig?
Yeah. Podcasting,
DJing.
radio,
DJing, not radio, DJing. DJing pays me the most.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay.
It pays me the most.
Yeah.
It pays me. I'm not gonna reveal my booking fee, but if I get 10 gigs a month, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, not a lot, but it's more than the rest of the other gigs.
Yeah.
DJing is lucrative.
Nah.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing and you get booked,
Yeah.
DJing is decent. So
Right.
it's DJing, yeah.
So I mean, we all want to know.
And then
Yeah.
it's DJing.
It's DJing.
And then it's difficult between podcast and the radio, because the radio, obviously more money, but podcasting, the money is also good, but the hours I put into the podcasting aren't as many as on the radio. You see? But by the hour DJing, because I just play by the hour DJing pays me the most by far. Because when you DJ, you play for 1 hour.
And then you leave. You don't have to stick around for the party.
No, you don't have to stick around. You don't have to. You leave and go to another gig.
Yeah.
So DJing.
Alrighty, so you obviously enjoy everything that you do, which is. I mean, that's amazing for when
I hope everyone enjoys what they do.
Yeah, no, I mean, I also hope so. But it's like, there's it's very rare. It's not common. I don't hear that.
And that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
we live in a world where
we're stuck.
you spend most of your hours at work or trying to earn a living, it better be what you love, or at least what you find purpose in.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and so I think that's weird that it's like that. It shouldn't be. And I'm trying to raise my kid, to not see the world like that you just need to get something, whatever it is, just needs to make you money. That's miserable.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Ne. Manje Jomba, we're on top, so like you're on top of the game, according to me at least, right? It wasn't always like this. There were times where, you moved back to Ekasi, or I don't know if you moved back to Ekasi when you stayed in Hillbrow, but you've had your down moments.
Oh yeah, it happens, yeah.
Yeah. What do you
spoken about those.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have quite a bit.
Yeah, quite a bit.
No. So the question is then, to somebody else who's in that position, who's so mindful, like, what advice would you give them? What would you say to them? Like, how would you what would you say to kind of help push them in the direction of their dreams or in their purpose, or just to get out of the situation they're in?
It's layered, man. There's a lot of things. Number one, you need to be easy on yourself. Forgive yourself for a lot of things. And first and foremost, actually, before number one, take accountability and responsibility. A lot of times people end up being bitter, being grumpy, pointing fingers, right? This happened to me, you know what I mean? People like, a lot of times, just blaming things and scenarios around them. Because sometimes, even in someone, your downfall is as a result of someone, but chances are you let whatever that happen. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have no business being in the proximity of those people if you're going to blame people, but it all boils down to you, man, literally. So I think for me, look, I don't have a book or all the wisdom on earth, you know what I mean? I'm going to speak from my, how I, navigated through that period and how I continue to navigate. It's accountability, and after that, then you can forgive yourself, right? Because you can't blame everyone, and then say you forgive them. No, you have to, see where you went wrong, how you could have avoided certain situations. And at the end of the day, they all lessons, aren't they? They all lessons for what not to do. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes bad call, be it a business decision, be it getting in bed, figuratively and literally, with the wrong people. So you start there, and then you take care of your mental health, and I think the first two also speak to that, most importantly, because it's easy to fall into a depressive state. It's easy to fall into a space of self-hate. It's easy to give in to the toxicity around us, So like you said, go back to your guys, it's easy to start picking up habits. It's easy to drink a lot. It's easy to forget your dreams. It's easy to... Can we swear? It's easy to not give a fuck.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And no.
So I'm still making a call on that.
No, come on, we're talking to people.
Joking. No. I'm joking.
And look, I understand it's a very positive and business thing, what you're trying to do, but we're talking to people here, and it's easy to just not give a damn when you're down and out, you get me, and not see the positivity out there. So you start there, and then most importantly, you still lean towards the things that made you great and that make you great, so keep yourself occupied. You know what they say, the devil's like an idle mind.
Yeah, an idle mind is the devil's playground.
Exactly, right? So for me, it was that. But I mean, I sit here and I speak like this, but at some point, I've also given up on in broadcasting in general, DJing and everything. And I was starting my own little things. Obviously, now you've got a kid, and most importantly, I still wanted the comfort for my life, and like I think you touched on it, I moved back home, which I was renting out, my mom's house, and she had passed on ages ago. So I decided, now I'm gonna move back, stay there. Then I realized, I'm not gonna survive here. in the hood. You see, so that was me taking care of my mental health. You don't want to be around that negativity of people, but that's Jenna. I'm a city, you see, and some people you were cool with them, you just didn't know that's how they viewed you and could never even say it, you know what I mean? Yeah. So a lot of times people crumble under that kind of pressure, under that kind of noise around them, under the humiliation, under the being the laughing stock, and rightfully so, right? Not lots of people can survive that. So I just decided, listen, I'm gonna move to Joburg, get a small flat that I can afford, and I'll make ends meet, and also where no one knows me. And that was in town, literally, right? No one or two people look, aren't you that guy? Like, oh yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
But a lot of people didn't, because half of them are from all over Africa, really, right? And they all here just to work. No one really cares. As opposed to the hood, where everybody's just sitting.
Knows you, and your family knows.
Oh yeah. And they're there for you, like, you wake up, there's someone who's unemployed, and it's just not a nice environment, to try to rebuild from, especially if you, at some point, were in a progressive state, you know what I mean? And you fall back a bit, it's not really nice. You can always create from the hood, don't get me wrong, but when you were, as some people would say, there, now you're here, it becomes very difficult because of, it's not an environment conducive to that, because in Kulumo Zabantu,
Yeah. Well, so were you driving Mercedes before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is that?
I'm just curious.
Jeez.
I just want to see.
She really loves material things. Then she's.
Not really. No,
you do.
I mean, who doesn't? But not like that. Not how you're saying it, so. But okay.
Is that what you picked up from what I said? What I'm saying?
No. We're having a conversation.
We're
talking, right?
We are, but
so
you're taking it there. Anyway, like I'm saying, so to me, I had moved to where people don't know me, and when you're there, then you're able to do even the small bit, you know what I mean? To do even the small, and no one's gonna say, oh my word, is this what you're doing now? Because to you, it's like, no man, I'm earning a living, I'm paying, and I'm still better off, paying a small flat than being a guy doing nothing, right? And being a guy, like I said, my mind is now idle. Someone was like, hey man, let's go drink. Hey, you know what I mean? And
it's that every day.
Yeah, you're just working backwards, pretty much,
Yeah.
And I love it, guys. See, don't get me wrong. I shout out my hood anytime I get a chance to.
Yeah.
Shout out to Force. So to me, that's that. Stay focused, and forgive yourself, because through that you don't wake up and hate yourself every day.
Yeah.
Through that you don't wake up and look at yourself in the mirror and go, "Fuck, you messed up."
Yeah.
You could have been here and here and here. And you don't look at people who your colleagues or your peers and go, oh man, I should be there with him. I should be there with her. I should be at this level. Because you've forgiven yourself. So it starts by taking accountability. 90% of the things or your situation, it's because you made it happen somehow. You know what I mean?
True.
Sometimes you're at the wrong place, wrong time, right?
Yeah.
If someone calls you and says, yo bro, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, you're sleeping, there's your woman. So let's go out, and you're like, oh cool, no problem.
Yeah.
And you go get into some massive trouble with the cops, or someone who's drinking and driving when you crash or whatever. It's easy to wake up and point fingers. Why did you wake me up? But you decided. No good is going to come from a decision of leaving your house at 1 a.m. to go do some stupid stuff, right? So you take responsibility like that, and through that you can have a clear mind and start again, and not be angry at yourself, not be bitter at anyone, not be bitter at the world. Because at the end of the day, the world doesn't owe us anything, and no one is coming to save you.
True. You just add a motivational speaker to your resume.
No, it's not. It's me speaking from you. Asked me a question that needs me to motivate. You literally sat here and said,
I know.
Motivate someone who's down and out from your experience, and I'm doing that.
Okay, let's move on. So, also,
sorry, I've got a flu. That's why I sound weird.
It's okay. It's okay. So you're very knowledgeable about a lot of things. And then mix that with the puns where there's an interchange of like languages. There's an interchange of, wordplay, idioms, things like that. What do you attribute that to? Like, do you read a lot? Do you watch news? Like, where do you get this kind of broad world view?
It's easy. It's not even like that. Like, Sol reads, and you know what I mean. I think I've got a good memory, and I've never been a kid who read a lot, but I did read, and I remember things I read, and like I said, especially in. That's why sometimes when you're down and you look back at when you were down and you got into that place where you're at peace, I learned so many things during that period. But I've always been like this, even way before. I think one of the main things was growing up, I used to be a rapper, So the wordplay thing comes from there a lot because you start to think a certain way when you do something every day. And so that comes from there. And then the languages thing is just anyone from the hood, really.
Yeah.
When you speak a lot of languages or you understand languages a lot. But there came a time in my life when then obviously I'd have lots of time, reading, just random things. Open the laptop or go to the internet cafe and just read. And I'm one person who, like, if I'll hear a word in a conversation or in a movie, I'll pause and Google it and look it up. Yeah. And then from there on,
know it?
Yeah, or when I hear about something, I'll go on YouTube and I watch, and then that leads you to different rabbit hole, and you just pick up knowledge in little bits of things, Even on Twitter, depending on who you follow, what you follow, So I'm curious. I think I'm curious, and a lot of times when I come across something and it seems fascinating, I'll just Google it, read about it, read up on it. So it's not like I was a kid who just spent his time in the library. No, whenever I get a chance to learn something, I'll learn something. So then put that with my decent memory. And I think then the rest is just how I'm wired. Just how you, like I said, maybe it comes from the rapping background, but how I consume words, sounds when I hear them, and just how I think. There's a part I can't explain.
Yeah.
The rest I just did, and there's a part that just that's the thing, and that's me and my ability, right? I think everybody has it. Be it the camera guy, that's why when he does the work with the same camera, it won't be the same as somebody else.
True.
Right? So then there's that also.
Yeah. Okay. No, Sol, obviously this was a nice quick chat. Is a nice quick roundup. We're not long. Yeah, we just in and out. We hit in and out. Like, should I ask you about love life? Staying on top, because those are the questions that actually
love life, stay on top.
Like, do you have pressure now? You have to maintain a certain, stay on top.
No pressure.
You chill.
I'm not even on top. For me, I don't see myself as on top.
Oh, for real?
No, man.
How do you see yourself?
I'm progressing. I'm not on top. Come on, Tina. I'm on top.
But you're on top of your game. You're in, the biggest podcast.
Man.
Okay, do you have shares in the podcast now? Or how does it work when you guys do?
I've got shares.
You just get a salary?
No. I get paid and I get shares on deals as well. Especially deals that I bring, which have been quite a couple as well. Because it's still Maggie's podcast. Though.
Yeah.
It's still Maggie's podcast. Maybe he'll give me shares if I say, hey, maybe let me start my own or whatever. You know what I mean? But I'm not that kind of guy. There's things that I'm doing on my own and they're not really podcasting. And it's also easy, guys. It's easy to fall into that trap of, let me start my own thing. You know what I mean? But I think that conversation will happen with Mac in due time. But it's also very easy, to because what we do, right, is the podcast wouldn't be the podcast without Mac or without me or without Ghosting. You know what I mean? So as far as leaving and starting my own thing, I'll start my own thing, but it wouldn't be direct. It'll still be something that I'm good at and something that I do, which is broadcasting, definitely. So that's one of the things I'm working on. But as far as the podcast, it's still Max Baby. But there's definitely profit share in a lot of deals that happen, especially ones that I'm central to.
Yeah. No, I got you. So we also obviously started our own podcast, like we have.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
It's called The Runway, yeah.
The Runway podcast, yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
Award-winning.
You're not the first podcast who's got trophies. But they for the other thing. But they put them there like they for this thing. But you are in charge of the other thing.
Yeah,
so award-winning podcast presenter, right? Because you won this award. Maybe not for the podcast.
Yeah, not for the podcast.
Yes, but it's still attached to you.
Yeah.
And you're part of this, so I get it.
Yeah.
And it's your accolade, it's your trophy.
Yeah.
You must put it out there, don't be ashamed.
Of course.
Yeah.
We have to. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. What else do you think we should do in terms of just social media strategy? Quickly, just like, what are your thoughts?
I don't know.
Like, what's the secret? Like, are we should be
There's no secret.
guests? Are we?
No, let me tell you.
Improve social media strategy.
No.
Teach us. So what should we do?
Kill the podcast. Make an amazing podcast. Yeah, make an amazing podcast. You see, you can't put the cart before the horse, right? And say we've got all these amazing things. Oh, with the best cameras and the best microphones and the best social media strat. We've got a guy who paying for Instagram, for Twitter, for Facebook. We've got a spokesperson. We've got a lady who cleans our mics every time we cut. We've got refrigerated things. We've got nourishment and everything, but the podcast is bad. Right? So it starts with the podcast. So and that's the product you're selling.
Content.
Yeah.
This.
That's the product you're selling. You should know this.
Yeah.
So when you have that, then the someone watches it and says, yo, watch that thing, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's all about the dope guests. Because if you look at podcasts and chill now, people enjoy the episode more than the celebrity episodes. They enjoy the normal episodes. And that's because of the product. The product is solid. So have a solid product first, and everything else then will follow. The podcast and chill is not made by great
guests.
Well, when it started, right? But coupled with a good broadcaster, because it started without me. Then I joined 2 years later, literally 27th of November, 2 years ago last week. You know, that's when I joined. And I mean, Mac is a great interviewer. He's probably the best in the country, right? And he could interview anyone and still get something out. It would still be a fascinating conversation.
Yeah.
So I think he nailed that first, and it was a bonus that he then had amazing guests, and the guests will then bring, it's like a mall, right? That's got an anchor tenant, or it's got all, people will come in for the checkers or the pick and pay, and then the mall will make sure then for these other shops, and those other shops will feed off of that. So with the big interviews, it was then that, you'd get the eyeballs and people would see the other stuff and be like, wow, actually it's a great podcast. And then when I joined in, obviously there was an improvement to that, maybe I was the last missing piece of the puzzle, right? I'd like to see it like that. And so we don't have a social media strike. We don't sit down even now and say, social media, how are we improving here and there and there? No,
make the product.
No, make the product and then use those auxiliary, tools to help you in getting the product out there. But when you've got a solid product, trust me,
people will.
Yeah, I mean, Coke obviously still advertises, but if they stop advertising for a month, and you're an avid Coke drinker, you wouldn't notice. You'd still drink your Coke, right?
True.
But it comes a point where you need to now sit down and look at that, but that's long after you've solidified the product.
And that's that on that, guys.
Oh, that was quick,
That was quick, and it was a fun interview. I enjoyed this. So thank you so much for coming through. Thank you for taking the call, because I know you're a busy guy now.
Nah, man, come on.
It's just to open up. It's just to you've opened up, because I could be any random person, and you'd be be like, hey, which you have to now watch. That's the truth, right? In the position that you are, you have to watch.
True. You need to.
Yeah.
Like with anything in life, you need to prioritize
Yeah.
things and requests and
Yeah.
can't be all over, you know.
True.
But now I need to be in Pretoria. She's my Uber driver. I still don't have a car.
Alrighty, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, interact with us, and also share with somebody that you think can enjoy this podcast. We are broadcasting live from the Maano Media Studios, and this partnership is in conjunction with Opulentia. So it's all your luxury brand, all your luxury perfume, but guaranteed we will link this in the description box for you to go check yourself out and hook yourself with some good products. This is just one of them.
So these are the people I want to say remove the F word by Sol.
Yeah. Yeah, like no, that's not.
Opulenta is fucking amazing, I'm telling you. Yeah. Now I'm just, now you're gonna remove now.